Stream Deck decided to not actually switch the scene. Thankfully, I cut that before that was a problem. Anyways, hi. So, after having our little community invitational event yesterday and coming back this morning, 2.11 released just now. So we're going to check it out. We're going to have some fun. And it being a pretty small patch, hopefully going to get through the whole thing tonight. But this is the end of the game right here until next mix. They did say this would be the last content update, and there will probably be some updates with events like the Nightmare event was at the end of XX. So definitely still stay tuned for that. But as far as content goes, this is the end right here. So let's have a look. Now, I will say, I only know the songs. I have not seen any of the charts. I will be sight reading everything. So this will be like the last hurrah. It's like one last batch of sight reads. Hey, what's up, Axel? Hey, Andrew. Yep. Would you really have wanted to play this patch on those pads mad now? So that event was fun. We had co-champions. Me and A2Z both had a co-champion spot this time. It was fun. Interestingly, the tiebreaker did not break the tie. So it was fun. Anyways, there's no new K-pop. I don't know what I'm gonna start with. I'm probably gonna start with Binary Star, so I don't get completely overwhelmed. So let's go over to the M licenses. There it is. Yeah, I have not seen Solve My Hurt Shortcut either. Now, people have been like saying, "Oh, 26 should be a 25," and even without like seeing the chart, I don't believe that for a second because 234 BPM is really fast. Remember that 234 BPM is very fast, and even if it's only 15 seconds, that stuff will absolutely murder you if the patterns are even close to hard. Let's check this out. I have not heard this song in quite a while, so. I don't think I ever saw the charts in M either. I think I just heard the song. That's an 11. A good one. Like, it is a good one. But that's not a 13, sir.
Absolutely perfect!
Bye, Adrian.
Wow! Next stage.
Why is that not recording? Go down the line right here. just go down the line and see what's up with everything. Song's pretty good. It had been a while since I heard it. It's pretty good. Not a hard 17, but a good one. There's enough variety there. That's good.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New!
That's a good one.
Next stage.
Okay, let's check out this S20. So the last of new ghost charts that we'll see. And I think, seeing the title card, I believe all doubles were stands. Alright, Mr. Nimgo.
Life's an overdrive, but we do I survive when madness rushes chaos dives. On those darkened days, rise and still our ways. They guide me to keep me
Nice RPG. It's a good one.
Absolutely
Now, I didn't
perfect!
expect this one to get one. Hey, J-Boy.
Wow! New record!
It definitely feels like it. It has more to work with than most of the other stuff he was dealt. This is good. No, this is good. No, this is like legitimately really fun. It's more interesting than it looks. It's quite fun to watch. You have to actually like really focus on this one.
Game over!
Yeah, I can't think of any of the M licenses that actually got BGAs. I don't think we had any. Because anything that already had a BGA from like BMS had one, like Fracture Temporal. I can't think of anything. Well, that's not a license. That's a contest. So I kind of expected that. If it didn't already have a video license. Yeah, it was a winner. It was like 8th or 9th place, something like that. That's original. So, anyways, that was good. Let's check out double. We're off to a good start here. Like this is good. This is fun. Yep, spam strikes. So we're gonna expect spam patterns.
Life's an overdrive, but we do I survive. When madness rushes in our lives. On those darkened days, your wings are still in ways. They guide me to keep me cosmic dreams, I feel them true, open for me, because of you. Still it speaks through the stars. Now with earth finally starts.
A good chart, but probably 14. I wouldn't put this like one level below stuff like this. It's a good one though.
Absolutely perfect!
A good solid movement based chart.
Wow! New record!
Very, very balanced for this BPM and difficulty range. I would just rate it lower, but it's a good chart.
Next stage.
I do like this one quite a bit. This one's, and it doesn't overstay its welcome before it gets like too annoying. It's just the right line.
Life's an overdrive, but we do I survive. When madness rushes in our lives. On those darkened days,
That's definitely not right.
still in ways.
I don't know what I did.
To keep me consequence.
I did at the beginning. That was silly. Pretty much, I guess.
Absolutely perfect.
Let's fix this. We'll take one.
Next stage.
Yeah, I
Your right foot and you instead move your left.
yeah, the funny thing was that I didn't get punished there. I got punished by jump afterwards. I don't know what I did there. I mean, I don't know what I did to get the good.
You got confused. And by
Yeah, but I don't know what I felt. That's the thing. I don't know what I felt to have that happen. Whatever. We'll play it again. It's not a very difficult 19. We'll pay attention to that. I should have just for you. Okay.
Absolutely perfect.
Okay, no problem. So, only one chart left to play. But I'm curious how this 23 is going to go.
Over.
Stan likes to do bracket tech in his upper charts, but I don't know if he's going to do that here. It's a good question.
They blew it up.
Oh no, we can definitely tune it up. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a second. So I think if we wanted a 23, that's not a bracket tech fest. I think he's probably gonna take the lucid dream approach. Have a little bit of bracketing here and there, but most of the difficulty is gonna come from like some big runs with some hard patterns here and there. I think that's the approach. I don't know. It is gonna be a sight read. Let's see how it happens.
Life's an overdrive, but we do I survive. When madness rushes, chaos dives. On those darkened days, your wings are still in ways. They guide me to keep me alive.
Okay. Good siren.
Perfect!
Oh man, I almost lost it in the end.
Wow!
Really, really good stuff there.
Record!
That's a good one. Good one, sir. Thank you.
Next stage.
Hey, Toaster. Yeah, that was good. Really, really good at the end. Like, I was wondering when it was going to kick up. And like I said, we were going to take the hard pattern right at the end. That's good. Whew. That is a little exhausting at the end. Like, I was feeling a little slippery on it. Because that's quite a bit of movement to cover. Oh wow, where are you going, if you don't mind me asking? Okay. I'm going to save Dead End probably for last. So let's do Alice and Misanthrope and the two shortcuts first. Gotcha. Like, I don't know if Georgia would honestly be better outside of Atlanta, but I can tell you right now that Texas, I can't really recommend anyone moving to Texas, as someone who lives in Texas right now, and has lived in Texas for his whole life. Anyways, I'm excited for this song. This was one of the ones that was licensed for Chrono Circle that I really wanted put in Pump as well. So I am very excited, because I finally got my wish. It's like, this is by far my favorite Leaf song. Alright, let's check it out. The bamboo was such a meme. I enjoyed playing it, but my first entire playthrough of that was, what is even going on? That's where the cut is. You told me there was a cut, but I forgot until just now. Because normally this song is 2:30. It's pretty long. And a cut right there. And I have a raid from Malieve. Hello, Malieve. Welcome in for the raid. Hi, Spam. I actually just noticed. Hello, sir. Hello, Evia. I hope y'all are well.
New record!
No, the ending's the same. Like, there's 2 middle cuts. Thank you. Yeah, welcome in,
Next
Raiders.
stage.
Anybody from the live stream who does not know me, hi, I'm Zelo. I like playing this game a lot. I also like doing speed runs, but we are checking out the final update from PIU Phoenix that released like 15 minutes ago. So I am completely sight reading these. I've listened to the songs, but I have not seen any of the charts. So these are blind plays. Just fun that way. But Spam, getting back to Spam, you did a great job with Binary Stars Doubles. Congrats, sir. That was really fun. All three charts are good. So, like I said earlier, this is one of the big songs that I really like, but I am very curious how this and this are different. Because I saw on the title cards, EXE did singles and Conrad did everything else. Like EXE did an S22 and Conrad did everything else. So I'm wondering if we have some parity or if those two charts are going to be very different from each other.
You shall see.
I shall see, but we will get to that in a bit. I will get to that in a bit. Let's keep going with this first. Okay, so we had 3 arcade length songs added and 2 shortcuts, and that's it for this game. And I think that's fine to end on, especially since we're ending on a boss song. We have not tried Dead End yet. Good one. That's a good one. Yeah, it's a great song.
Absolutely perfect!
Like, I played the crap out of this in Chroma Circle,
New record!
and I am just very happy as a whole.
Game over!
Like, as a whole, I would wish we would have a little bit less BMS, because a lot of them are just really old ones that I'm not really fond of anymore. But this was a good pick. I don't know what the year is, though. I don't know what the year is on the song itself, but it's probably new enough to where it's worth having.
Somebody said this is 2020 remaster.
Alright. We'll see. Okay, thankfully, it's the easy charts we're working through. We'll get to the hard stuff. I would be very surprised if I did really well on the S22 first try. Because we have a long way to go as far as difficulty is for this song. Let's see. That being said, I am sight reading, so it's very easy to trip up. pretty standard Conrad, but it's good. Good for what it is.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New! Next stage.
I almost did trip up on a couple rhythms, so I'm glad things worked out okay. The last of Conrad's singles here. Cool. That's a good one. Good chart.
Absolutely perfect!
That's a good one.
Wow! New record!
Let me make sure my screenshots are actually saved because I know I streamed it mess, you know.
Next stage.
They're gone. Welcome in, Tony. Sure, if you want to count me as autoplay. We do have a player in the community who renamed himself Autoplay at one point. He is very good. Alright, last of the singles here. This is EXC's only chart apparently for this one. It's kind of interesting, like, thinking about it. EXC's in charge right now, but he has, like, almost no content in the last patch. Usually he has a little bit more when he's in charge. I guess. Yeah, it's a great song. Like, I don't like a lot of Leaf stuff because a lot of it usually is rhythmic noise. This feels more musically developed and still contains a lot of chaos. So it really lends itself well to games. And it does honestly make for a nice listen. The BGA is also fantastic too. Alright, Mr. EXC, let's go. What did you do to me? Wow.
I don't think I'm gonna laugh at that.
Excellent!
That's
You
great.
did a really great job!
I think that's actually really cool.
Wow!
Good job,
New
sir.
record!
That's a really cool chart. It could be, but we might not get that gimmick in D24.
Especially when there are two charts, because when they come
Yeah, they're gonna combine.
it looks better in the video.
Game over!
They don't have vision, so they don't make
No, like
pictures.
I think this is one time where it's fine. It is the hardest chart for the song. And this is a very, very, very chaotic song. I think this is fine. I think this is fine. Anything at this point to make people work. I want people to work for it. You want to play 22? Great. You want to get a good score on 22? You're going to work for it.
Those blinkings were kind of painful.
I actually didn't have any problem with them. It's probably better when you play versus when you just watch on its own. Because when I was playing it, I just got surprised, but it didn't, like, the flickering didn't affect me.
I usually have more problems when I play than when I watch.
Alright, we'll probably come back to that. I actually think 22 is a good rating for it. Like, there isn't a giant run. It comes down to, can you do the drill brackets but with a gimmick attached? And then can you get through the piano mess at the very end? I think that's fair for 22.
I think the gimmicks make it harder.
Yeah, because execution-wise, if you take the gimmicks away, this would be a low 22. With it, it's probably about mid-range. Because you do have to work. It's good. Let's work on doubles now.
Let's move it up! Good call!
I think that's probably about the limit of what I'd accept to like putting in a public arcade game. Anything more probably would be too much. I was wondering if it was gonna be all half level. Did this chart even use up left? I don't remember it. He might have. I don't remember up left being used at all.
Absolutely perfect! Wow!
When is
New
550
record!
fast? When is 550 fast?
Next stage.
You think I read fast? You should see players around here. I regularly see players in like the 13, 14 range reading like AV 680, and I'm like, what?
I see 750.
Yeah, that's really pushing it. I think my speed is tame.
I really don't like 7.
See, I actually will use 700 if I know the chart really well, know where I'm going, and need the actual like speed and space. Like even for like some of the faster 23s, I did that. Like Solve My Hurt, I think I read at 700 because I'm like I would really want that last run spaced out, and I will deal with everything else.
I think you read Extreme at 700 at some point.
I did, but only because I knew where I was going. It didn't really matter to me. Shoot, I used to read Mission Possible at 800.
8? I only saw 7.
I've done 8 in the past.
Yeah.
But like I said, I know that I know the chart really well. I would rather take the speed. Well, if at least I'm nuts, I'm at least alive. So. That's good.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record! Next
You
stage.
mean specifically for like D24? Because I feel like these have plenty of symmetry.
I mean, specifically the jump section.
I didn't hear a word you said over the preview.
In the jump section, all the charts except the student do use set of different ideas, while the music suggests at least very similar ideas.
No, I think the approach he took is fine.
Like Chrono Circle also use the same ideas.
But that's hand game. I wouldn't apply it here. I think this is fine. The approach
That's
substitute.
we used similar ideas.
But using different ones wasn't bad there. I think it was fine. Anyways. Hi, Nova. This will probably be pretty tame, so. And then we'll get to 24, and then we'll probably lose our socks. Same rhythm tripped me up. I'm good at that. Gallops are hard, apparently. Geek Alex at the beginning. That's a good one. Thank you, Malik. Thank you for the raid. Have a good rest.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record!
We'll fix that later. We'll fix that later. I want to see this 24 and see what's going on.
Game over!
Was the same idea used with the gimmicks? Let's find out. Let's find out. I was thinking about having it slightly faster, but then I'm like, you know, if the same gimmick does pop up, I'd rather have it slower. All right, what we got? Cool. I got a little confused at one point, but it's a good first try.
Awesome!
Cool.
Wow! New record!
That's a good one.
Yeah, ideas are must be different those.
Yeah, the moment I figured, like, when I was seeing, like, the title cards, that it was two separate people, and one of them was EXE and not both,
Next
I kind of
stage.
figured only one of them would get the gimmick, just based on how EXE loves to do things. But you never know. This was really good.
It works better as this. I don't think if you condense as 24 it would be as good. Fixes is the best one to do.
Anyways, this is really fun. This was absolutely worth adding to the game. I'm really happy. I will be working on both of those upper tracks because they're really fun, but there was one part where I completely whiffed in D24 and picked up like 20 of my greats there because I was trying to get back on. But really, really fun. Good job. It manages to mix everything really well, and it's surprisingly stamina intensive at the very end. I did almost run out of gas.
That break it around did not have any breaks on it.
Yeah, there's no break in the run, and the ending is not, it's not super hard, but it's not trivial either. So you do have to at least give it a little bit of gas. Now you're good. let's check out the shortcuts. See what's going on with those.
New twos. Cross. Shortcut.
Let's see here. So we have No, it wasn't red brackets. It was a weird turning thing, and I thought I needed to turn, but I probably just needed to stay the same direction. Because it was a bunch of blue brackets. If I remember right, these are all Diesel's charts. We haven't seen too much work from Diesel yet. So we're still kind of like scoping out his style. He is a very good player. And that kind of seeps through in some of the charts that we know are hit that are hard. Oh boy, Super Aqua Emperor is tough. That's useful if you need straight run practice. It's fine, for what it is.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! Next stage.
Like if you need straight run or straight burst practice in this BPM range, here's the perfect chart for it, I guess. I can define Phoenix in one word: disorganized. I've enjoyed my time, but I do not deny that there have definitely been some messy things. Especially at the very beginning. I think once we got over the initial year, things smoothed out and was a little bit more consistent. Not in every aspect. But... Yeah. Yeah. That too. Although the end of XX was kind of bad about that at times too, because every singles chart for God Mode 2.0 that isn't the S21 has 0 turns. Every single one. And I'm not even talking in bursts either. Even in quarter notes, there's nothing. That's mean. That's mean to put a jump in the middle of that.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record!
I think it really just depends on the person, because there are a lot of Nimgo things in XX that were very straight, and then there are a lot of Nimgo things in Phoenix that are very turny or very technical. It's kind of a big flip.
Next stage.
And I like that because weird Nimgo is way more fun to play with than straight Nimgo. Take that as you will. think I know what it's going to. It just happens to be there.
Because Superman jumps were probably a mistake.
The Superman ones were. This was not. This was actually like intentional because I can see why it's that way. Because it actually resolves. Yeah, it was a funny jump. Alright, are we gonna get another straight chart? Cute.
That's very hard for a 21.
It is, but it's good. It's good in a nice, mean way.
You're right.
I like that.
Wow! New record!
That's a good one. Thank you. That's a good one. I was just very surprised in places. But that's a good one. Not too bad.
Over!
Not too bad for sight reading. That's the kind of stuff that really shortcuts should be. Shortcuts are meant to be spicy. They're supposed to focus on techniques. And honestly, the latest shortcuts we've been getting have really trended towards that in a good way. They are very silly. Like, anybody who has not seen Star Dream Eurobeat Shortcut D20, you should go watch it because that chart is hilarious, and I think it's harder than the 22. Yeah. Now, these shortcuts have been pretty good. Even ones that are kind of like a little bit stripped down compared to the arcade version still have some interesting things. Because Prima Materia D24 was a very, very surprising chart in places, and it kept it interesting.
Him of the Golden Glory shortcut.
Yeah, him
Nice.
as well. Him is brutal. Him is so brutal.
Especially on the lowers like S15, D17, those are really hard.
Alright, let's check out doubles for these.
Move it up! New tunes. Use your custom step. I opt for a green shortcut.
nice little mean parts to offset a lot of the straight things.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record!
Cool. That's a good one.
Next stage.
Yeah, the quality of like the charts in this patch so far have been pretty consistently good. Oh, that was so close to an SG first try. That's a really good. What is that score?
Absolutely perfect!
That's a really good sight read score.
Wow! New record!
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a good chart. That is the kind of stuff shortcuts should be.
Next stage.
Very spicy in the right way.
It feels like it took some inspiration.
Maybe. Well, thankfully I didn't get tripped up like I did in singles. Once I kind of figured it was gonna follow the same path. I was just like, okay, just prep for the same stuff. Hey, Wilty. Welcome in. Yeah, this was a really solid set of shortcut charts. I know the lower singles are pretty straight, but they at least have some things happening. And all the 20 plus ones are very good. Yes, I have a very excited kitten ready to hear Solve My Hurt over there.
She wants her hurt to be solved.
I'm excited for it, but I'm also very scared. We also have a new step artist with us.
They picked the awful part for preview.
Yeah, I know. So, I'm speculating right here based on what I've seen. The step artist is Abyss. I think this is actually Abel. Because he had Abyss in his last stream title. I think it might be Abel.
Is it a Korean player?
The artist, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah, Abel. The one who made several originals. This is only me speculating because that's just what I've seen, but I know he writes charts.
Because I'm thinking Latin American Idol.
I don't even know who that is.
A player.
But I don't know who that is. Okay, anyways. If he did, then hey, props to him. That being said, what is this difficulty spread? We'll get to talking about the 26 in a bit. Let's get through these two singles first. but maybe that's a little too dull for what it should be.
Well, people say this is what I
Absolutely perfect!
The miss was my fault.
Wow! New record! Next stage.
It is nice to have some foot speed practice. The rest of it feels a little overly simple. My overall thoughts have been, this game got off to a really rough start, and there are good things about it, but I think as far as where I'm putting it in my list of favorites for mixes, this is probably about middle of the range for me, because this had a lot of issues. I've had a lot of fun, and there's definitely been some great things that have happened, but it definitely doesn't reach the same highs that the previous games did. Yeah, we kind of figured that would happen. Pretty much just straight foot speed out of bursting. Now this will probably be a whole bunch of running, which is why I'm going to turn that speed up. Yes, a few. Wow. That's quite hard, actually.
That's the way to go!
Wow.
Wow!
That's why people say it was easy, because I think it was like a big run instead of break, and it should be easy.
Hi, Twilight. Yeah, that's way harder than it looks. And it was already pretty scary. Wow.
Game over!
Now I'm concerned as hell about D26. Because even if it's going to be the same skill set, that's going to be a lot of reading. Even like the straight part was hard. The straight part, I was still getting beat up. Oh god, I am like legitimately scared.
New team online matching. Prize shortcut.
I am scared as hell. We're just gonna send it with 690. Screw it. We're just gonna send it. I'm good, sir. We are sight reading the very last content update for this game. This is the end of Phoenix with the 2.11 patch. As far as content's concerned, they say they have a few more patches underway that'll probably be event related. We won't be seeing a new game probably for a while because there's not going to be anything at IAPA. We would probably expect to see things in probably Play X4 next year. Because that's a pretty good time for a new game to come out if it's not going to be IAPA.
Yeah, I feel like they move in promotion to Korea instead of having it here.
Yeah.
That would make sense if that's what it is.
Alright. I want full focus time for this one because
Okay.
my brain has to like process everything.
We just wait for the song.
It's been a little over 2 years, though. Phoenix started at the end of June, early July, 2023.
It was announced at PlayX4 or something.
I know, but like when it actually came out, because I remember we were seeing preview videos for initial Phoenix content on our way to our New York vacation. So that was the end of June when that was happening. So I'm pretty sure it was like the beginning of July. All right. Yeah, those of you who say it's a 25, you're wrong.
Aye, aye.
That's the way to go!
Those of you who say it's not easier than 26, you're wrong. Ugh. I want to try that again, though.
Next stage.
I actually do like this chart. But, yow.
Yeah, like, especially the one that was like, let's how you use all those scans.
Yeah, people really just don't take into account how difficult speed, when it's this high, really affects the difficulty. And when you throw in brackets, that's amplified. Doing brackets, like bracket drills at 234 is really hard.
Especially when you have to move that much. That run is like, yeah, that's it.
Thing is, like, I'm not even that tired. I just got behind. That's the hard part. It's just easy to just get behind and get screwed. Hey, Vegeta. Let's try one more time. Now that I know what's happening, I won't be as surprised. Just wow. It's just so hard to keep up.
That's the way to go! Next stage.
Yeah. Much harder to read and also much harder to execute.
Brackets also torn. Like,
Yeah, the brackets have a lot of movement too, so it's very difficult to execute as well. You know what? I'm gonna play this credit out on this one, just to get it under my feet. Like, we got plenty of time. The only song left is Dead End. Like I said, I'm not really that tired, but it's hard to just get out. Exactly. Exactly. I am now reminded of the arguments when Dignity D26 came out, and people were like, oh yeah, there's only one run, that's a D23. And it's like, no. No. That run in Dignity D26, on top of everything else, has some of the most movement out of everything in that range. People really were saying it's D23, even though they upgraded Nightmare to D24 that game, and you could definitely tell this was way harder. Hey, keyboard rhythm games can be fun. That's why I'm playing Rise. Rise got a very interesting patch lately. Bamboo was such a meme. I'm just thinking the entire time on my first play, what the fuck is this song? I was told it was a meme. I didn't realize it was that much of a meme. It is. It's a good run, though. It's just hard. One other thing about this that makes it extra difficult.
You get no health.
Not just that. Rolling brackets.
You did it!
If you miss on the rolling
Stage.
brackets, like completely whiff, you're double punished with double miss. You can have to whiff everything. That's fine. At least you start with full health.
Start with all the health you can ever get.
EON doesn't need gimmicks. Like, I know everybody's still sad about the removal of gimmicks, and some of them, I admit, should have not gone. But not everything needs gimmicks. The thing about Pump is that this is a very physical game. Some visual flair is fine, or if it's like the basis of the chart is to be something visual like the Dasu songs. But in the end, it's really not that important as a whole. Like, I play Pump because it's a very physically interesting game. You can get reading tests or funny gimmicks in other games too, but nothing really captures what Pump is about other than Pump.
We got enough gimmicks in Alice in Misanthropus to
Yeah, I
That's
think
all the gimmicks
I think we
need.
used up all our budget on that.
All the gimmicks you need in this match.
Bye, Nova. I'm sorry I just missed that, but have a good sleep, sir. better, but it's still pretty bad at the end. Yeah, that's gonna take some work.
That's the way to
What is our
go.
best score? Nice. Alright. Put it on the docket for later. At least it's short. Well, my health bar is running out. That's the only part I care about.
Game over.
It got a little farther, just barely. I made it to where it starts doing that anchor on the left, immediately transitions into rolling going that way. It wasn't much farther, but it was farther. But the other two attempts were pretty bad. It's just not my good skill set. This is like my worst skill set in the game, is brackets that have a lot of ankle turning. And even then, even as good as the first shot was for a first shot sight read, it's not anywhere close. Because I have to get through the bracket roll going that way, do another bracket roll going this way, and then stare back and forth at 234. It's not close yet. It is a good challenge, though. I think this is actually fine for what we wanted to do, and I think this is actually a good chart for what it is. It's just hard. It's just very hard. Yep. Well, shall we revisit World Max for a second?
X.
X. That's how I'm gonna feel when I play all the charts for Dead End coming up. Alright, y'all. We did get one boss song here.
It's funny you think all nights because I think
There it is. Yeah, look at that look at that difficulty spread. That's even harder than Ultimatum, which is saying a lot.
It's still better than Vacuum. And both.
Even now, it's better than Vacuum.
Vacuum is 16.
I guess so. Alright, let's check it out. Mr. Dolkey is back. This is the lowest BPM out of all the D28s, therefore it's the easiest. Without even looking at it. I'm not sure how I feel about the song, to be honest. It doesn't sound great on these speakers. I feel like it sounded a little bit better listening at my computer.
I think it's too noisy for me. Was there like the one with the vocals?
This one does feel a little noisy. At least here.
I still like it more than the boots. Sorry.
You can ask Cosmograph for that. I don't think he wanted to charge out the ass for that. I don't even know if he's a fan of Saw movies. Yeah, I definitely don't like it as much as Ultimatum. I'll say that. Maybe it'll grow on me a little bit, but I do like Ultimatum a lot more. I think a lot of the edgier stuff they tried to do for originals, like this and Kagutsu, tried too hard.
In the end, Max wins.
In the end, Max wins. And Slam is in his grave forever at this point. I think once Kagutsu gets started after the first 35 seconds, I don't mind it. But the first 35... This is coming from Onoken himself when he was asked about the song. He was like, yeah, I was trying to be edgy, but I've never done something at this BPM, so I didn't really know what to do. It kind of shows. You gotta try. Like, you do have to try. But I honestly put Kagutsu pretty down in my list of songs for this mix. I guess if you just rephrase it as Egoism 220, it's a little better. I was scared because I didn't know what was going to happen there. I was like, wait.
Absolutely perfect! Wow! New record!
That's a pretty enjoyable chart. Dement. Because Dement has a lot of physical factor. This has a lot of bracketing, which might trip with below. But I think Dement
Next
is more
stage.
difficult because you have a long one at the end. I'm expecting a lot of run like Ultimatum, but with a bunch of tech involved too, because it's Dulky. Dulky loves doing that.
I don't think I've seen any of the cartridges. I only watched the second one.
I'm wondering to myself, like, I don't know when this was planned for the game, but in my internal mind, my conspiracy theory is that Cosmograph threw this at us to make up for Autumn Break being thrown out. That's probably not true, but I'm going to believe it is.
My theory is it was planned at the very beginning when Dookie was still active with the game.
Probably.
But your theory is good. We can accept it.
I can finally put Macom's quote in context, saying to Cosmograph, "Okay, you make and I delete." And it really did happen this time. That has actually been the case for a lot of things. Ever since like Prime 2, where they're just like, hey, make us a new original that sounds like this song. Like sometimes it's fine, but there have been a lot of like sequel songs to things that were previously licenses. It's still less bad than going from Superman to Mackerel. I think that's honestly worse.
And Super Macro.
Alright. I got a little tired at the end, but I should have played a little bit better.
Wow, fantastic!
Oh
Wow, new record!
well. That's not a good sign if I'm struggling with that kind of computer. I think if you're ready for where it turns and can prep, I think you'll be fine.
Game over!
Because you can minimize pretty hard for most of it. Yeah, there were some similarities. I could kind of understand like having the similar pattern in the similar song. Occasionally, as long as it's not like the whole thing. Which has been the case in the past sometimes. I'm like, yeah. It's a good chart. Like it is mostly very straight, but it has enough going on to where you will struggle with the other parts. It was a good combo to carry through. I just wish I played the end better. No, this has been fun. This has been a fun one. We've been going for about almost 2 hours. Yeah. We'll actually be able to finish this update. Like I will play everything else, even the 28th. I will die on the 28th to finish the night off. Because I'm probably not going to be playing tomorrow because I have some things to do. And I kind of have to want to replan stuff for the end of the year because another one of the marathons I usually participate in unfortunately had a staffing issue. So that one's been rearranged into something different, which is great, but I do like those normal events. No, they're not going to put in hidden stuff anymore. Like they ripped all that out. Like there are no more like hidden charts or hidden random patterns or anything like that. Even stuff like the holds and everybody got to know that were optional, they're all required now. So ironically, Infinity did it first. Kind of ironic.
Yeah, I used the bracket engine and slam first.
Well, I mean specifically for everybody got to know because we couldn't
Yeah.
make optional holds. No, all the hidden stuff is gone. They don't want that anymore. Hey, at least I could have fun with it. And you know I could do it normally anyways. But it was funny to be like, hey, my A machine best is higher than my perfect game. I know, man. It's a lot lately. Well, I did submit stuff for AGDQ, and regardless of if I do have a game in the marathon, I will be going, because I need a vacation. That's kind of how I feel about stuff lately. Like, I'm not really into, like, going to music game events anymore. I would honestly rather go to stuff like GDQ, like convention-style events, and just hang out for the most part. Like, if I have something to do for, like, a showcase, then yeah, I'll do it, and I'll prep for it. But I honestly feel like I have a better time doing that than sitting around. I hope you can make one out sometime. They're fun. You just hang out with people, you have a blast. And there's enough to do around the event and around the cities too where they're at. Because they've been having in-house like portable escape rooms at the events. And the one we did in SGQ 2024 was really fun. Without giving anything like important away, it was basically for Yu-Gi-Oh! As the theme. Yeah, it's a lot, but it's just kind of just growing up in general. Because like early 20s, I want to go to this, I want to go to that, I want to play, and now I'm just kind of like, I just want to chill. If I get to do something great, but I just want to chill. Especially since like last SGDQ, like I did have fun doing the Pump Showcase, but it came at such a cost. Like that machine was cursed, hardware-wise. And we spent so much time trying to get it into a playable spot, and it really did hurt. Like physically hurt, and even just like mentally, I'm like, oh my god, I don't know if I can actually play on this thing. So, thankfully, I won't be doing anything like that ever again. Like, it was honestly really touching to see and hear everybody's support. Like, there wasn't a ton of people in the room, but everybody who was there and showed up really gave me the energy. Because if that didn't happen, I probably would have stopped after Ultimatum S25. I was hurting. I was, like, physically hurting. So, that made it worth it. At least a bit. But it's definitely my weakest showcase that I've done for a GDQ. So, back to submitting speedruns I go, because that's the only good thing I can do. Anyways, let's die on this first. I died on ultimatum, now I can die on dead end. Alright. Probably gonna get screwed, but hey, let's just go. Wow. Ow. Wow. Wow. That is a cool chart, but that is definitely harder than ultimatum by a good amount.
Next stage.
The stock gimmicks are also much meaner than an ultimatum. Those really took me off guard. This is a good one. Chart-wise, this is a good 25. This is a very good 25. It's just tough. But it is a good one. Good job, Belky. Because this does feel very polished. Very polished patterns, very fun to play, just, it's hard. And it just goes on and on and on. I could definitely pass that, but I need to spend some time on it. I doubt D26 is going to be much easier from a design standpoint. And 28, forget that, but we're going to try it anyways at the end. My speed adjusted. I do not want to read this at 670 for a sight read. with you on that. This is a little bit more tricky than most of those.
Next stage.
Because when Dolky usually does things that are not the hardest things, he usually still makes them somewhat hard in some way. Like, they generally aren't just like stripped down sets of like easy bursts or just relying entirely on density. Dolky usually makes things move a bit more. Spam actually does that a lot too, but it still depends on the song. That was fun, that was tricky, and now I expect to get completely wrecked. But first, let me get some water. Get a drink. Yeah, I imagine the 26 is still going to have a lot of dense things with enough movement where it's going to be difficult. So I don't expect this to be easy at all. Scary sight read, that's for sure. Okay. Yeah, it is. That being said, I kind of got lost and wasn't really focusing. I should have pushed a bit harder. The hard part is that it's actually very difficult to read, and if you get off, you're in a bad spot. That's how I feel the same way with Nate D24. If you get off on those, if I get off on those kinds of patterns, I'm sunk pretty bad. Yeah, it's a fair start. It's a good one.
Game over.
I think this is a good, interesting one for its BPM. It's tough, and it's not my skill set that I'm good at, but it's something to work on, and that's fine. But I have this big problem where if I am struggling for my brain to keep up, my body just locks up instantly. I'm very bad about that. I've been trying to fix that again. But sight reading the hard stuff is not the easiest way to break it. Alright, we're going to try the 28 once, just so I can see it. People have said this is the least gimmicky of the 28s. And possibly the easiest. I'm not sure I believe that, considering 28s are already hard as hell. I could see it being easier than 1949. I don't know about Paradox. Because if it's Ultimatum but 10 BPM faster, that's not boding well. Alright. This is going to be the last thing I'm going to play for the night. We might play tomorrow, but I'm going to do this first and then we'll figure out what we're going to do tomorrow. Ultimatum is also almost 32 straight measures of 202 stream, and not exactly the easy patterns either. If it's gonna be like this but 10 BPM faster, I'm fucking dead. The song is definitely growing on me. It definitely won't reach Ultimatum level for me, but it's growing on me a little bit. Oh, I can't believe I'm throwing myself into a 28 blind. No, that's not any easier than Paradox.
Very easy.
No, that's not easier than Paradox. There's way too much tech for that to be easier than Paradox. There's no matchable spot. You have to do everything.
Next stage.
I was just like wanting to internally die when I saw the 16th bracket kicks. No, it's definitely not easier than Paradox. I don't know about 1949. Probably not even that. Wow. Yeah, Paradox has breaks. You get the one in the middle for this, and that's it. And it's not even much of a break. Everything else is hard. Even the parts that aren't 16ths are hard. Oh my goodness. That was an experience. That sucked. Not from a chart design standpoint. Like, the chart itself is perfectly fine for that. But man, did I feel terrible. I am going to let that cook. Because I'm cooked at this point.
Hey, why don't you just get up and dance, man?
You mean good luck to the one Fefems? I think that's the only person who will get this.
Game over.
Anyways, you know, after playing everything in 2.11, this was a good one to end on. This was legitimately a good patch to end on. It's not about quantity of songs. We've already had a ton of songs out in this game. The quality of the charts here as a whole was quite a bit better than even most other recent patches. This was fun. This was good. And if we're going to end the game on this, I'm fine with that. This was a good set of songs to end on, with some very interesting skill sets and some things I'm going to have to work on. I will say, Phoenix is also going to be the last game where I play everything that gives you rating. I'm not going to do that. I've done that for 4 games now. I'm not doing that again next game. So, I'm just going to play whatever next game. I'm probably going to focus more on getting harder passes under control again. And I will still do that for the end of Phoenix, because I do want to clean up at least a handful of 26s and hopefully snipe off a 27. I just have to get a little bit better back in shape about it. Things always change. Like, that number, like, is always an estimate, and never one. I would never take that at 100% face value. Because things change all the time in development, and this is honestly closer to the estimate than other previous games have been. In the meantime, thank y'all for watching. Thank you, Malieve, for the raid earlier tonight. Thank y'all for coming in and enjoying this final update with me. This was fun. I'm going to take a shower and relax. I know you need to go to bed. It is already 2 a.m. So, we're going to send y'all off to wherever somebody is going, because it is very late at this hour. Who's doing things? Excuse me. Excuse me. Alright, y'all. I'm going to send y'all over to Arbor Arcana. She's doing some art stuff. Lovely little witch VTuber, does great art. Pretty good Necrodancer player, too. She's great. So, go say hi to Arborn. And if I stream tomorrow, we stream tomorrow. If not, it'll be sometime later this week. But you'll have a great day or night wherever you are. I will see y'all next stream. Thanks for watching, everyone.